session because I know a lot of people were interested, so I don't really add, but that can refer to the recording.
So Luis, before you start
Mhm.
recording, can I say something, or did you already start recording?
They already did.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, this can be left recorded. So
Okay.
I just want to say that that you know, I mean, I my my supervisor is actually my boss. Anyway, the director of research is thinking of making a copyright of the work that we've done. Still in progress. It hasn't been finalized, and so just so you know, I wish I could tell you more details about it, but but uh, but the part planning that copywriting, I don't think I can show it. But I can definitely show you what it does and the simple red cap codes that we did, because that's not part of the copyright. So I don't know. I feel any questions, and I'll do my best to show everything without the copyright part. Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Before you get started, I'm gonna just give a brief introduction. I want to welcome everybody. We'll have a special say, Dr. Eduardo Morales, and he's introduced himself in a little bit. Just some users that are in our version of RedCap, the enhanced buttons and the boxes that we have here, both available right now. You don't have to tell me, so I can enable them in your project. So shoot me an email and the title of your project, and that's for enhancement and buttons. Excuse me. Real fast, there's a notification that I haven't touched base on, and this is interesting. Let's see, where is it at? That's right now. There we go. So you might not be able to do this, but let me know. And if you have need survey notifications, so for example, if you have a survey and you need to know when errors increase, let's say you have an open link and you want to get notified whenever a new record is created, somebody's answering the survey, I can do that for you. Send an email. Your email to the application and module, and you'll be set. So, just a quick example is that in your survey, press submit. You'll get an email. The answer, the survey gets answered. So that's that. So we're running reports for our compliance officer, Jackie, and all the projects and the people that are part of the project. So we're checking if have a proper IRB approval. Jackie, I don't know if you want to say something about that real fast, or.
Okay. What I do is I come out with these reports after each audit, and my goal is to put them into RedCap so that I can calculate the data at the end and see how many deficiencies there were in informed consent and filling out the source documentation properly, and filling out the case report forms properly, and where exactly the deficiencies lie within each section. So, for the form consent form, was it with time or what? Where were the deficiencies exactly? So that's cool.
Great. So Eduardo, I'm gonna uh, so and give a brief introduction of who you are and what you do.
Yes, no problem. Let me see. Derek, can you see the screen? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So, my name is Eduardo Morales. I work for the New England Baptist Hospital. Let me see if I can. I wish I had this prepared, but I'll show you. So, I work here. That's a hospital. Um, it's been for many, many, many years. You can't see the entrance from here, but the employee is this one, and that's not me. I don't know who they are, but so that hospital I work at, it's a orthopedic hospital. We do hip and replacement as well as surgeries, and we are one of the best hospitals in orthopedic surgery in not in New England but across the country. Um, we have a research department, is where I work at. We have our mission is basically to provide a research service to our investigators. We guide them through the research process, meaning from we conceive a research question, we shape fiction so we can figure out whether they need a budget, whether they need an IRB approval. If they do, we their research question and transform into a study and collect data, which is where I come in. And after collecting data, it gets analyzed, and then we help them publish their findings if there are any. So that's what we do. It's service of research. That's what we do. Let me see. I'm looking for. We do joint replacement, spine, sport medicine, medical surgery. Well, yeah, I mean the doctors are highly specialized. We do about 6,000 hip and knee replacements a year, and it just they're really highly specialized. That's what they do. They out. I think for spine surgeries we have 3,000, and I don't know, just very highly specialized. He's my boss. He started design. These are the people I work with, and I think, oh, there you go. There's no picture of me. Oh, there you go. There it is. That's me a few years ago. So yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, it's a small team, but we try to guide our investigators as much as we can through the research process. And I'm going to show you today is a we call it a PRO portal. PRO stands for patient reported outcome. And what we are trying to do is collect the outcomes for our patients, meaning how does the patient feel after the surgery or before the surgery. So it's a process we're trying to implement. We're trying to collect the PRO measure at screening, meaning before the patient goes into surgery, and then we're going to follow the patient in several time intervals. The time intervals haven't been decided, but to put it simply, let's say yearly intervals in the next 10 years. So the tool that I'm going to show you today, it's a modification to several REDCap projects that are working together through HTML code. And with that, I'm able to collect pre-PRO data in a normal fashion that can later be migrated into different platforms. Because it's one of the requirements that the REDCap can add stay. I mean, data cannot stay within REDCap. So that's in a nutshell. That's what it is. And I since everyone's used to, I guess, seeing how REDCap looks like. Let me start there. So let me see. So in my project, my PR tool, the patient-reported outcomes tool, is composed of 4 tracks. It's the PR hip, PR for knee, spine neck, and spine lower back. And let's go into one. The first one you go into PR has several questionnaires. The patient is meant to answer each and every one of these. Of course, the details, I mean, you can see which instruments we're assigning to the patient, but basically we're collecting their MRN, we're showing them a welcome page, they sign a consent, and we're asking for the email, and then the actual instruments, BAA score, the visual analog scale, neck disability, and are actually assigning them the PROMIS CAT questionnaire for physical function. So yeah, and if that's what we do, so REDCap can do this easily. This is we are assigning these as surveys. So you've seen this before, 1 and 2 many times. But the question really comes to: are you going to really collect the MRN? Because think about it, only the instruments are meant for the patient. But what about, I mean, the MRN? Does the patient knows it's MRN? I mean, his MRN? Likely they don't. So, and I guess I want to point out that our population is mostly 65 or older. So we have seen that patients don't really know their MRN, even though we work with it at night. I mean, a patient comes in for surgery, their MRN number is the last thing in mind. So to come up with a way of collecting MRN, in this case, we thought that the rehab staff was the one that should collect the MRN for the patient, and then over the survey, which is being administered through an iPad to the patient, and that way the patient gets to see the welcome page, the consent, the email, and everything else. So that's what it is. If you go to the other projects, you will see exactly the same thing. Let's go to the PR. You go into it and just test the test environment. So I have no data here. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same except for the instruments, but still the data is normalized. Projects, and it's something that REDCap does on its own. I mean, there's nothing really fancy that I have done here. The other that I guess I can really did was that I thought about breaking the project into 4, because if you think about it, you could have just, I don't know, add more all these surveys into one single project, hiding with branching logic, but at the end of the day, the data really wouldn't be enough, and forget it. I mean, then with a different problem when you're trying to analyze the data. In this case, since mine's meant to be related to a different system, having it split in this 4 projects makes sense for me. Let me show you. The question now becomes, okay, does the patient collect this, get access to this portal? Foremost is through an iPad, and it's through this page. This is shown on iPad. Right now I'm showing you on the web, but the app is connected to the browser, and the browser shows this link. And the first page that the patient sees is this splash page. So it's to portal. If you're reading this, you should be a staff member. I guess I said that wrong. This page is seen by the pre-F staff, and they go, well, I mean, make sure you select the right one, the right patient that you're gonna hang over this iPad to. So say we go into the spine lower back, because that's one of the type of patients that we're trying to track. So you go into it, and the MRM page that I was referring to. It is simple page. I put in MRM, which is a fake MRM in this case. This is nothing but a survey. All right, here we go. We're going to see the first hook. We get the next one, which is the welcome page. We're saying the research team is kindly requesting that the patient completes a short set of pain surveys. So it's basically two-part introduction of what we're asking them to do. And if you notice, the first hook for this one is on the button. You notice that says submit. It says continue. That's the first hook. The hook that I was able to for this, it's here. Can you see the screen or change the letters? Can you see the grayish code?
It's a little bit hard to see for me, but
let's change it because I that way because it was hurting my eyes. But let me see. It's any better.
I mean, yeah, I can read the code.
Jackie?
That's better.
Okay, all right. Let me see if I can save it. Yeah, there you go. So this is a hook, a red cap hook. It's written on PHP. All you have to do is put the PHP there. But this red cap already has a function that works with surveys. So all you have to do is put that function in your PHP file and then work with it. And it's really strange. I mean, that statement is very strange because the documentation doesn't really tell you how to do it. But what it was by instrument. I made a switch. That instrument, I'm going to run certain code. For example, this first instrument, it's for the MRN PRO page. But the one that I wanted to show you is down here for the welcome page. Indicate that the survey is it's called welcome page. What I'm going to do is do a little echo, P echo, because if you think about it, what we are looking at here is not the server side. It's not the data. It's just how the Redcup renders the survey. So meaning this is the client side. This is your of the, I guess, of Redcup. So it has to be done on client side. That's why we have to echo out our code. So through an echo, I run a JavaScript that simply goes and grabs the name of the button, which is set by Redcup, and then label right there. In our, what you have to really do is to look how Redcup is naming the variables, and then and if you want to do a client side modification, then through script, all you have to do is grab a variable and make the change to it. So that's the first one. I think that's the simplest one. Do you have any questions, Luis or Jackie?
How does it look in Redcap, like that web page in Redcap? Like yeah.
Yes, definitely. Let me the welcome page in Redcap for HIP, which is the same on all, but let's just go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that.
Okay.
Right, it's a survey setting, so all text is really on the survey setting.
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Where the welcome text? Where do you get it from?
It's on the survey setting. Let me go to it. Right. Right. On the designer. Here. The setting. I put a logo. and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put that calculated field because you need a field in that survey so that it can work, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got it. Right. Right. Although, that was my first intention, but later one of my collaborators figured out that you can actually render a survey without any fields. So I'm not sure if that field is really necessary, but yes, that was my first intention. That's why I put a field there, a hidden field, so we could have the survey loaded. Yeah. Yes. Should I continue?
Yes.
Perfect.
Jackie, do you have a question?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. You click continue. And this is not really fancy, but it's actually useful because if you think about it in terms of a patient, they're going to submit. What am I really submitting? So in this, they're just continuing. That's why I had to change that label there. The next thing is the consent. So the consent is this. We work really hard to make it very concrete, but still be HIPAA compliant and IRB compliant. So that is. However, if you think about it, the patient can always decline the consent. They go, well, you know what, I'm not doing this. So here we go. I made a hook that when you click no, meaning when the patient declines, warning. And I don't know if you can see it up here. I didn't do this. This is a hook. So it's in, hey, warning, you are declining consent. Please verify your answer and continue when ready. So instead of having to check the database to see what value they saved on the database, before saving it, I'm checking that they're clicking no. Just letting them know, hey, you're about to decline. Make sure that that's exactly what you want to do. Look out, leave it there, and they sign it because that's part of the consent. I mean, if they're declining, they have to sign. Date is defaulted to today, and they submit. So if you think about it, by declining, they're not meant to see the rest of the surveys that we have prepared for them. Meaning, they're not supposed to see anything after the consent. They're not supposed to see the email or none of these. So here we go. My hook. We're about to see a different hook. So you submit it. It links and goes like, oh, you have fine. They pick them out of the RedCap survey. There are a couple of stop conditions on RedCap surveys, but it really didn't work for my case. Why I had to do this type of hook. Here, once you get here, you can already restart it. But let me show you what I did. For that one is this. If you think about it, if you saw it, but so first and foremost, the hook for the warning. Again, it's on the consent form. Echo back to JavaScript because it's on the client side. You grab the fields that you're looking for. We're basically monitoring for a click. Or clicking a value as 0, which is in this case is the actual code of the value no. That's why there's a 0 pop-up warning. And just JavaScript. The trick here is to know how to monitor the field, how to access the value of this field. So it's as simple as that. For the decline page, where is it? And I'm actually running the hook on the email page because you saw the email page blink for a while, and then we saw the decline HTML page. So this is actually very interesting because the value actually passed through the URL. And here we go. For example, since this is working client side, you get values from the client side, so you can pass it to the email page and then run a query through the database. So here we go. For example, on the window location, you get in the URL, and then you type in the values, you get in with hash, and the record number. So it turns out that the record number actually exists before saving it. What I do is get it from the page, and let me see if I can. No, I don't think I can do this right now. But so basically, this code, get it from the actual RedCap web page. I'll show you how in a moment. So just writing a little queries. I'm getting the record number. I'm using the record number, the property. What else? And from there, when the page refreshes, because that's what this does, it puts this value on URL. You can get them. You can actually, I don't know if you can. You can actually extract them, and then do the query on the database. I'm looking for the value of consent. I mean, what did they actually did? So on selecting from the record data, the project ID, and some record number, the value of consent. And if the value of consent is, if they have declined, this is regular code that the record needs for it to do the query. And somewhere in here, I got it right here. If they consider 0, which meaning that they have declined, redirect me to my decline page. So this is just to make things easier for our patient. That's why you're looking at this. That's because you're trying to decline. You're trying to make things easier for your patient. And if you think about it, it says, hey, I mean, just return the iPad to a staff member. Once the staff member gets the iPad, you restart it, go back to the beginning. So I can assign the iPad, assign the portal to someone else. And again, it's the same thing. They go through it. And I'm just going to go really quick. And this, if they do accept to participate, they continue and they go on to the next page. And we have the regular validations, that the email is not valid. So it's not required though. But we have it there just in case they want to prove to us. So there you go. I mean, you can submit, and the red is just regular RedCap functionality. These are our questionnaires. Hooks. You've probably seen this before. And at the end, it goes through what prominent. It goes to a thank you page. Because I completed everything. Thank you. Read the iPad to a staff member, and then you can restart it again. And this page is not RedCap. This page is HTML with a simple JavaScript code that lets you redirect your page where you will need it to. One more thing. So here we go. The other book that I wanted to show you is this, and I think this is going to be a little bit more interesting because I'm going to be able to show you the code. So here we go. Think about it. We're doing this at screening. However, I mean, the same questionnaires are being applied at the private practice, and in theory, you could use the same iPad with the same link, so that the patient could fill out these questionnaires at the private practice. However, there was a really interesting aspect that I wasn't thinking about, is that the MRN is not the same the doctor's practice. cannot identify them by I cannot identify the patient by MRN. However, we don't have a practice that's composed of all four types of surgeries. It's either hip, knee, or spine. So I made a different splash page for just the hip and knee survey. But let me show you the one for spine. So we have the same different one for just the spine surgery, and it's a different URL. So what I did was this. Check it out. Did you go into it, and instead of look at the MRN field, now we're identifying the patient by first name, by last name, and by date of birth. And it looks just like a regular RedCap project, but it's actually the same one as the MRN field. And so we go to RedCap, and we go into the MRN page. This is MRN page. So we have a record ID, regular for RedCap, a key field called a PRO source, whether the PRO data is coming from pre-op or for private practice, and I have branch logic that if the data from pre-op, I'm just going to show the MRN field. If data is coming from private practice, the data is going to show the patient's first name, last name, and date of birth. It's okay. I mean, what you're trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that I made a hook that it's filling in this value on its not through a user's click on its own. So it is filling in the field that it's triggering the context sensitivity in this form. So the data is coming from private practice. It's going to show just as a set up field, but the hook that I made is actually clicking the private practice value on its own, and it's done through the URL. Check it out. I don't know if you can see this tag right here.
Mm-hmm.
That tag is actually being read by the hook, and that's the trigger that makes it fill in the value. And let me show you the hook. So the hook, it's here. So I guess it's client side on the MRI page through an echo. I want to run through JavaScript. I will read the tag out of the URL. So here we go. So I just have a tag so I can get the location. I'm trying to get everything after the index. My flag, I did it by length because since I'm expecting a double P, if it's equal to, I mean, it only has two characters, then and again, this is JavaScript. Value for this variable, which comes from RedCap, under index 0, which turns out to be the first choice, make it through. But it's really for some reason, but put value through on it, it didn't really click it. I found out that the branching logic from RedCap only works on a click. So I had to set up the value first, and then actually on the RedCap is trigger and a click, and that's what makes it. Well, that makes the branching logic of RedCap trigger. So it's as simple as that. That's actually all for me to be able to click that hidden field. For me, this fields, and I guess this is what I wanted to show you. If you put F12 on any browser, doesn't really matter. See the RedCap code, the inside RedCap code entering your page, and it's really never ending. The hook, it's actually put after. This is my hook. It's actually after the RedCap code has been loaded. So my hook for that one actually ends here. So it's a little more involved than what I showed you. But before clicking that button is this one. And the question is, well, how do you know which is the value that you're looking for? You basically just look for it on the. I keep telling everyone, all you gotta is dive into the code and look for and find what you're looking for. In this case, looking for PRO source for probably an hour or two, I found that the RedCap folks are called radio button a PRO source radio. What you have to really do if you want to control something on the screen is go into the RedCap code, look at the name, and then use it on your hook. And if you notice, all I really did was using jQuery, I was on the value of the radio button name PRO source radio, just the option, and I just stood through, which means a check on the radio button. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if RedCap is used inside, you can get a hold of it. For example, I'll show you the project ID there, and so you can actually use the project ID right from the start. And I guess the project ID is not that really, I guess, interesting because you know exactly because you set up the project. But what about the record? There you go, record ID. So actually, it has it. All you gotta do is look for it. They have a variable for record exist. There's one you can actually check it out. This is how they're reading the record. So for some reason you need the actual record you're in to make it query or to do something with it. All you gotta do is grab that and put it on your HTML file. So again, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if RedCap makes you variable, you can go and use it in your hook. Well, I don't know if it's a misconception, but I have seen a lot of people talking about hooks and plugins and all our server side. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm right when I say this, but there's a lot that you can do on the client side as well. I mean, I don't do warnings on the client side and doing inserts on the server side, but I think this is a safe way to go about it. Everything that's loaded, you can make use of it, and I think that's the biggest, comment that I can make on this that can help you. If you press 12 and look the code, you have access to their CSS, to a lot of stuff. And you will see variables they're using, and you can start using them, basically. There's one thing that I want to show you. If you think about it, what would happen if the patient clicks submit all of a sudden? And that was a bug that I guess without expecting it, that I triggered on my own. I caused on my own is that it would take me back to my M page because the submit button connect to the link with the tag on it. It was taking me back to this one. Let me see if I can do it. I'll fix it. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, there you go. Check it out. So in order to avoid it, I didn't fix the bug. I just avoided it. Not click the submit button. It doesn't work. That's the hook I've done. I actually disabled the submit button until they actually provide data. And the code for that, let me see if I can show it to you here. It's here. So enabling the submit button. The code is really simple. Don't worry about the details, but it's this. The name is length of 0, query, disable the button. And the property is like that, disable true. If you want to enable it, you do disable false. I got it somewhere over here. Sure, you can figure out the logic, but I guess the key code here is this one. All you gotta do is get a hold of the field again, just like before, of the mid button, and then use its property through jQuery to disable the button. And you enable it whenever you need it. So let me show you example. You do submit, doesn't work. You put your name, work. You put your last name, it doesn't work. You put your date, it lets you through. Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. That, like I said, I couldn't fix the bug. I couldn't get a hold of the meet buttons code, so I add my tag to it, because that could have been a really good hook to have, but I just couldn't find it. It's not loaded on the client side code. It's just not there. I just couldn't find it, and my last resource was to avoid the problem by disabling the button until I want them to use it. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a solution. Might not be the best solution, but at least it's working so far. Fast, but that's particularly in a nutshell what I have. Do you have any questions, or Luis?
Jack, you might have a question or not on their beat side or not.
I don't have
but,
a question.
You know? Okay.
And that's fine. I mean, this is a lot of information to take in, and if you questions, feel free to email me or something. I was telling you, this is a very interesting project, but after this project, my RedCap tutors are going to go back to the regular RedCap use and not really coding. So if you have a need for something like this, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Yeah.
And at your presentation and time available, and I know this was a little bit technical, the rest of but I will show you what it can be done, like to see how the system is very simple and can deviate from what the system does, and you can, have these to check your data before it gets started, or read it to where you need to do. I mean, you can see fast. Projects are very simple and straightforward that the system takes care of that, but there are other projects like yours that where this is not easy adapted. And these hooks we'll cover these in some other time, but it's also so that and it opens our minds that two options and ways of doing things. So that was the main purpose of this meeting. And I thank you for your time, Eduardo. And
I do see this warning hook be, I guess, the most useful for more general projects where you just want to make sure that your end user makes sure enters the right data, just to clean up the data. I mean, the other hooks are much more complicated, but I think the warning is I guess it's one step we can take towards making that the data capture as clean as possible.
Jackie, anything else or concern?
That was very interesting, a little technical, but very interesting. Thank you much.
No, anytime. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. If we don't have any questions, I'll be here today. And thank you again. And yeah, great day.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, you too.
Bye now.
Thank you.